Welcome to Influential Entrepreneurs, bringing you interviews with elite business leaders and experts, sharing tips and strategies for elevating your business to the next level. Here's your host, Mike Saunders.
Hello and welcome to this episode of Influential Entrepreneurs. This is Mike Saunders with Marketing Huddle, and today we have with us Dr. Simon Dove with the Chiropractic Wellness Center in Fort Collins. Welcome to the program, Dr. Dove.
Well, thank you, Mike. It's an honor and pleasure to be here.
Hey, you're welcome, and I'm looking forward to learning more about your practice and also the recent nomination that you got, which is a wonderful honor. But give us a little bit of background on yourself and your practice. What do you focus on there in Fort Collins?
Well, that's such a great question. So we're here in Fort Collins. I've been a chiropractor since 1997. I was not headed towards chiropractic at all. I kind of chuckle because, boy, if someone had told me I was going to be a chiropractor and help people, I would never have seen that coming. I was headed to be a studio art major, and I moved to Italy and was following my dream. And just working through a little bit of my own spinal pain, and my uncle was there as a chiropractor. He helped me out in a way I'd never thought possible. The rest is history. And it was really, it was almost a calling, in fact. That's how I would
you hear that so many times with, even in business. I was exposed to this, and then it opened up a new world for me. But I hear that also in chiropractic is I was in this accident or I had this condition, and I had never dreamed that relief could be this. Or, you heard chiropractic and you assumed these things, but wow, my eyes were open when I saw the real benefits of chiropractic. And there you explained it and articulated it very well.
Yeah, well, you got it. So I think, so I help anybody with the spine.
Yeah. that narrows it right down, doesn't it?
Right. So, but I hear the question, what do I focus on? There is a wide range of clients that do come to us. Some are suffering with some just very challenging, horrible diseases. And then other people, they're athletes. We live in Colorado, so
Sure.
It's such a great place to be, and a lot of athletes. Babies, elderly, men and women, you name it. So there's a really great wide range. At the same time, back to that story of what kind of captured me with this type of chiropractic was, I don't want to give away too much of it, but there was this experience that I had that I felt myself more. And in doing that, I was able to actually heal that back condition that I had. And it was a big light bulb went off. So it literally changed the trajectory of my life. And it felt like I experienced my own inner self, my soul, if you will, more than I ever had. And I thought, holy cow, if that's available to people, I'm interested. I want to do that. Whoa.
And what I would suspect from what I'm hearing there is, you talk to some people that, you talk to people in business that say, I spent 10 years doing this, and you punch the clock and you do the assembly line, and that might be, regular chiropractic. And then you get some people that just really make it their own, and they just make it their life's work, and they bring their whole self to it. And that might be what you're mentioning here, which is, you thought chiropractic was just cracking backs, but wow, lo and behold, there's this whole new level, whole new world. And when you were exposed to that, you're like, how come everyone doesn't know this? So give us a little bit of background on what that could look like. And because I'm certain that sets you apart from the traditional chiropractor that many people would go to.
Yes, you got it, Mike. And that person it feels like they're at that crossroads or they want something more with life, that was the piece that I think those are the ones we really shine with. But there's also a wide range of, humanity. They come in.
So am I hearing you correctly that not only someone may come to you with a condition, a spine condition type of a thing, and it might not, they might think, wow, my back just hurts, or my, whatever, my neck is hurting. And so you're going to treat them, but through your procedure, your approach, through your methodology, you're exposing them to more than just fixing them. You're getting them back on track with even just their life's purpose, their life's course. Is that an accurate assessment?
You're on a roll, Mike. You nailed it again.
Hey, I should be your sales rep, huh?
You should. Absolutely. So, yes, you're quite accurate. I think everyone on one hand knows that like a symptom or a pain is actually a bigger message than just the location of where it hurts. Mm-hmm. But it's remarkable that people are still surprised when they come in, for example, a person with some classic back pain or stiffness or something, and we do a really thorough exam process at the office, and we'll determine how much care, if they are a good chiropractic candidate, and then how much care that we think that they're going to need to get their goal from point A to point B. Inevitably, in that first month of care, they're starting to report back to me a wide range of things that are well beyond that physical back pain, such as, hey, I finally got married. I've been avoiding that for 8 years. I've been in this relationship with a person I love, but finally did it. Or I finally got out of a marriage that I just couldn't figure out how to do that correctly and with ease and grace. Or, I'm just happier. I can't believe it. I'm just happier. And we start to look at that episode of pain represented a much bigger piece of their life other than just I was sitting in my chair wrong for a long period of time. So it's exciting. It's rewarding because that's what I mean. I can confidently say that when we start checking your nervous system with this technique and there's a good fit and we're working together well, inevitably those first couple months of care is when people start going, holy cow, Doc, you're right. My life is changing. I'm so glad I'm here.
And so then that almost then is, you want to use the word holistic or, all-in-one package, on a vacation where it's not just the hotel, it's everything. You just go and you got everything and you had no clue that it would include that. I thought I'd have to do on my own. And so you're helping people at for what they came to you for. Wow, this hurts, or this is not right, and it's opening up other things. Almost like being a life coach kind of a thing, where you're contributing more than what they gave. You're over delivering it from a business standpoint. You would say you're giving more value than what they're initially thought they were going to get. Is that a good assessment as well?
It really is a good assessment, and luckily I'm working with the central nervous system, the brain and spinal cord, and it's a sequence of very light touches on the body. And the reason I say we're lucky is because I don't think I would do as well a job if I was a life coach. Mm-hmm. It would take a lot longer and be a little bit more precarious. So I feel lucky we have this little kind of secret.
Yeah.
There's a way to work with the spine to help it do what it's designed to do. It's really designed to help you process emotions, have thought patterns, have biomechanical movement patterns. It's running the show. I always make that. I think of it as that old saying: when mom's happy, everyone in the house is happy.
Yep.
So it's the same with your nervous system. If your central nervous system is in a good place, very perfect tone, or optimal tone, that tone or essence is going to show in your life, and not just in one category. Going to spread. It
makes you think of when you resonate. Like when someone would say, boy, I just resonated with that, which means it just made sense, and you just had a good feeling deep down about it. I can't really explain it, but it just kind of resonates well, and I think that's kind of what you're describing there. And you said something unique, which I think flies in the face of traditional chiropractic, which is light touch. And you're like, wait a minute here. Everybody I've ever talked to is like cracking backs, and you're talking about light touch and nervous system, not just bones. So I think that's a really unique way that you're describing that, and actually giving more than just fixing that pain. You're giving your patients more than what they bargained for, from what I'm hearing.
It's so true, and there's an edge we've learned through neurosciences of what parts of the brain are getting accessed with light touch. And over time, it's a way. The best way to look at it is we're teaching the nervous system to be a little bit more aware, create a new neural pattern. So you're right. definitely not the more traditional or the mindset that most people have about chiropractic. It's light touch. There are well over 200 techniques in chiropractic. You could divide them into high force and low force. So there are other low force techniques in chiropractic. That's not unique. But I think some other things that we do in our technique do make it rather unique. And as I said, we're educating the nervous system, helping it create another pattern. Because perhaps the pattern that the person's in, it's not good or bad, it just has its natural limitations. Yeah. And perhaps those patterns just, the person has outgrown them. They need an upgrade. They need 2.0. They need 3.0. So
maybe like from back in the old days, you think of like a record and it's like kind of stuck and then stuck on that track and it's stuck. And then when they get past that, then it's like, okay, now I can keep on going. Well, it sounds kind of like what if you're teaching and retraining the nervous system to do what it needs to do or was intended to do. Now it's going to go further because it's kind of broke out of that little rut, so to speak.
You got it. I like that. I'm going to write that down.
You can't talk about that to millennials because they'll go, record? What are you talking about? But, many people will remember that. So I wonder if it's kind of like a self-driving car. People are kind of like really, not believing that, they don't trust it. So what would you say to someone that hears this and goes, come on, really? You're going to self-regulating? What do you say to someone that has those doubts and so they can feel like this would be an approach that would help take them to that next level?
That's a great question. I agree. It's an odd realization, or it should land to a person hearing this as odd. So my first message to any of you out there listening that you might be that person that's like, what? Light touch? No, you don't understand. I'm a construction worker. Yep. That 400-pound thing fell on me. It's jammed. This is what I would say. As I said, first, good job that sounds weird. That's normal. If someone came into my office and saw me lightly touching the spine for just a few times for over, 10 to 12 minutes, and you didn't think that was weird, I'd be worried. That's odd. So that's the first part. And there are a lot of good examples in different branches of science how light touch or a little bit of input into a complex system can cause a radical change. And there's some examples in sports. If you're a golfer and you're going to shoot down 250 yards, all you do is change the face of your club 1 degree. You get a 50-foot change at the end of that 250. And you don't even have to add more force. Mm-hmm. You could be a really complex jet airplane, and you could have a frozen piece of ice on a wing the size of a quarter that you would throw off all the complex system, and that plane would need to land. A better one has to do kind of with more everyday life humanity. If you're falling in love with somebody and you're in a crowded party and you're just waiting for them and looking and looking and looking, but you don't see them, and then you glance across the room and just catch a glimpse of them, your entire body chemistry changes. And that person didn't even touch you.
Yeah.
You just saw them. You touched them with sight. You touched them with the connection that you already have in your body and your nervous system. So those are just some, playful examples just to start the process that, there's lots of ways that a little input into a system can change it dramatically or exponentially. And then I would lastly say is come down to my office for a free consultation and we can talk and see if it's a good fit and then give it a whirl. Say jump in.
Yeah, I think that a lot of times people try it before you buy it, or at least connect with you just to see if there could be a good fit. And I think that's a wonderful approach and offer, which to me, it sounds like, when you can acknowledge someone's apprehension, I would hope that they are apprehensive or think it's a little strange, but when they understand that this and this, so I love your approach and mindset to that, which, the whole reason we connected is I wanted to bring you on the show to talk about your nomination for Best Chiropractor of Fort Collins by Lydia's Style magazine. So tell me about that nomination and what that means for you and your practice, because I'm sure everyone doesn't get that nomination, and that's a wonderful honor.
Oh, thank you, Mike. Yeah, I was quite honored myself. Lydia's Style magazine has a long tradition here in northern Colorado, bringing some quality stories and connections to people. So I really enjoyed the magazine. So to get that from that magazine was also a big compliment. So they once a year go through all of Fort Collins and all the different industries, and they look to see who were the best of. And I was curious how I got nominated, because I didn't know anybody over there at the magazine. I don't have an ad in their magazine, so it felt extra odd. And what they told me, I was extra honored. So they had a poll or a survey the first year I got nominated, which was in 2014, and won it then. And I said, well, wow, I had no idea this was going on. I had no idea that I got nominated. How did that work? And they said they looked at me, the different events that I've done throughout the town of Fort Collins, my website, my presence, my message, and whatever other activity I do in the community, whether it's a lunch and learn where I go to a corporation and share with them what we're doing, or different offers at the office. And they said, and it's just open to voting. And people can vote for chiropractors that aren't even on the nominated list. And they said, I swept it up. I was like,
well,
wow, so huge compliment.
When you first started explaining that, I thought, well, your reputation preceded you, and that really is the case. You didn't just buy your spot there with, being a subscriber to their magazine. So I love how that is set up, because sometimes people would say, well, all you did was buy a subscription, and now you're in the mix. Well, you were nominated the first year without you even knowing it, and there is a vetting process. So when they see that you are giving and serving the community and your messaging and your care, I just think that is spectacular. So good luck this year, and for people that would like to take you up on your offer, which is just come by and see how it might fit and see if there would be a good synergy, what's the best way that they can reach out and learn more about your practice?
The two best ways are to call the office or go to my website. So it just depends on the person's preference of technology, really. And that I would say is the best. And I wanted to say, too, that technique that we've been talking about, it's called Network Spinal Analysis. So if you don't have the privilege to live in the Fort Collins area, it's beautiful, by the way. You should move out. If not, wherever you're at, you should look for a Network Spinal Analysis chiropractor. That's the technique, the Network Spinal Analysis, near you, and explore it there for sure.
Excellent. And then your phone number and website to use?
That is 970-224-5006. That's the phone number. And my website is myfortcollinschiropractor.com. And on there, on that landing page, there'll be a link that you can fill out basic information, and it'll come to my office for a free consultation. And then someone at the office will reach out to you, and we'll schedule that up.
Well, Dr. Dove, thank you for your time today, and congratulations on your nomination. I wish you all the best this year.
Thanks, Mike, and it's been a lot of fun. Really great to meet you. I feel honored and privileged to get the story out, get the word out about this amazing work, and thank you.
You're welcome. Make it a great day.
You've been listening to Influential Entrepreneurs with Mike Saunders. To learn more about the resources mentioned on today's show or listen to past episodes, visit www.influentialentrepreneursradio.com.